Alright, I'm back. No worries. Longer videos are going to be out soon, but first, let's cover the absolute shambles that happened in the Roblox shooter, milsim, tactical, and whatever else is left communities in the past few months. For the first time ever, a Roblox game quite literally disappeared for a full month and got DMCA'd by a gun manufacturer on Roblox. Well, that's new. The game was Deadline, which made history in Roblox. And then it got reincarnated. How and of course why? And why is this kind of worrying, or actually not, for the other Roblox FPS games and studios? And of course the future scenarios that await us.
Move in and secure the area quickly.
Now for the people who don't know, Deadline is an FPS milsim game in Roblox, which in my opinion is the realistic FPS game in Roblox. I'm not even joking, it is the only game that I ever play on Roblox, and I've got to say, I have rarely seen any milsim game, even outside of Roblox, with such a consistent, immersive, yet realistic gunfights. They got recoil right before Squad did, so it obviously held a very special place for the LARPer community and the tag heads of Roblox. And generally people who couldn't afford games like Ready or Not or Escape from Tarkov, and of course as such. It was like that budget shopping item which still hit that sweet spot like nothing else did. Deadline got really unlucky in this case. Now the story itself isn't really anything new. The same purge that happened around 2013 when gun manufacturers decided they didn't want to have their designs in video games. And games started applying stubble changes to their weapon catalogs. Now the cheapest and the easiest loophole was to just change the name of the gun and remove any indicator label from the model. Like fucking Block 17. Sadly, Deadline didn't follow that stigma, but I don't really blame them for it. It was fine, because for the longest time, Roblox was safe from this. Countless upon countless of FPS games on Roblox, regarding of the genre, had used real firearm names and even their bios and info without needing a license or even notifying those companies. I mean, it's Roblox. Who really cares? Well, now they do. Around early July, Deadline was taken down. And when I say taken down, I do not mean that lightly. I don't mean being unable to join or the servers not working or anything. No, it was removed entirely, with barely any explanation in the first few days. And this was weird, but it wasn't hard to catch on why, for at least most of the people. For a full month, the game was gone, with barely any updates. The Deadline community was so bored and frustrated that at some point, some dudes started visiting North Korea out of boredom and signing up to the Marine Corps. I'm not even joking, this is quite literally. But moving on from that, this was also a scary call for bigger shooter games in Roblox, but we'll get into that soon. Now, you might wonder, which company actually pressed copyrights on Deadline? It's this funny little Austrian company that I'm not sure if many of you know or not, since they're into making knives and messing with the horse genitals. That is not a joke, by the way. And they're called Glock. Yes, the Glock. They were the ones who filed the DMCA. Now, it isn't uncommon for Glock to file reports for games. As seen in most games, Glock pistols are usually abbreviated and straight up changed. But usually, in the case of a DMCA for games, it's common for more urban manufacturers who need compensation to look this deep for games like this. Games so specific. So it was pretty strange for such a huge company to be the first to do it for such a specific game, considering Deadline did include many items from other manufacturers. Okay, so actually, update, they just pretty much removed every single name that included a weapon company. So why was this such a huge scare for other Roblox games and of course other Roblox game developers? Now, Deadline is popular, but definitely nowhere close to some of the other FPS games that did include full names for the Glock models. For them, this was a quick turn of events as well. And I noticed a lot of them actually changed their gun names, especially Glock models, or even fully removed them during this period. That is, well, understandable. Why, of course. As of now, Deadline has thankfully gracefully returned. And they also fully removed Glock from their game, so they just pressed the nuke button, and I can see why. And actually they did rename a few things as well, though I really haven't paid all that much attention, to be honest. But anyways, again, this had never ever happened before in Roblox, or at least in the recorded history of Roblox, because no matter how deep dived I searched in the history of FPS games being banned on Roblox, none of them were really related to a gun manufacturer deciding they don't want their gun in that game. And of course, like I said, it made sense. It's Roblox. Now, what should we be expecting for the future of Deadline or the other FPS games of Roblox? Now, the first scenario, nothing might happen to the other Roblox games. Likely, the other gun companies won't bother that much, and other Roblox games might be safe. Hopefully, Roblox itself won't establish a policy about this either. Now, the second scenario, which in my opinion is the bad one, if this does get the attention of other gun companies, similar things could start occurring to the other Roblox games. And for Roblox, in order to stop this, they might actually establish a solid policy that might prohibit studios from using real gun names in their games, and even worse, they might just ban real-life guns from games as a whole. But I would say it's less likely. But due to Roblox's history of being a bit radical when it came to rules, I won't be saying it's impossible. What do you think? Leave your comments down below, and hopefully nothing bad would happen. Anyways, see you guys next week. If anything happens, I'll keep you guys updated.